Okay. Let's go. So, MMsolver. Very cool tool. I'm just getting back into it. And I've been practicing half the day on doing some camera calibration stuff and thought I would stream it. I've also never tried teaching or demonstrating this before, so I want to see how it goes. And just kind of warm up, I guess. But in the case that it works out, then I might as well have it here. So, MMsolver, what is it? MMsolver is, well, it's a solver. In the manual, it says it's like an optimizing solver or something. Basically, if you have a camera in your scene, roughly align it, model some of your stuff out, give it a rough alignment, key some frames, hit solve, and it's going to calculate for you. The benefit of MMsolver is that you can put so much stuff into this. So, man, how do you describe it without just jumping right in? I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna jump right in and line up a camera. So, first things first, I mentioned that I was going to demo this camera calibration setup, which will create a camera, an image plane, and some perspective lines, so I can create an initial layout for my scene. And you can also calculate distortion off of it. So it's limited because you can only do 1 point and 2 point vanishing point stuff. You can't do all 3 axis lines. So not the most amazing thing at the moment, but it's still amazing having it in Maya. It's awesome. So I'm gonna go and create camera calibration setup. And you can see we have a bunch of stuff here in the solver, which, funny enough, I actually haven't looked at any of the stuff in the solver yet. Didn't know that it appeared here. So I'm going to put this away for now because we don't need it. I'm going to look through this camera. First, let's split my viewport just because. Middle mouse drag my camera over here. And you can see we have a funny colored thing, bars. We're going to swap that with our own image. So I'm going to open up some stuff that I already have set up here. And let's see which one. I'm not going to do this for the final shot, but I want to try it on these buildings here. So I'm going to hit open on this. Now we have the image loaded. It's also a little bit dark. So if you need to, you can come over to Gamma, drag this up a little bit. And now this calibration tool, sorry about the traffic, it's very hot in here and I'm not closing that door. So the calibrator here has an origin point, so I can drag this around anywhere I want it to be, and that's typically going to be where you want to begin your modeling. So if I were to line up this building, I could put it somewhere on the edge here, so then when I create some geo, I know that the center of the world is there and I can just start extending my geometry from there. So I'm going to leave that origin point there, and these axis lines, they come in 2 pairs. It looks a little bit confusing at first, and you could see as we drag it around, you can see there's a little locator here that represents the vanishing point. So this is going to get us our horizon. In my case, I'm using 2 point, what's it called? If I select the camera, come over, right click here, camera calibrate. So here I can see that we're in 2 vanishing points mode. And if I click in here, you've got 1 point, which, you might be, the demo image that's in the manual is like looking down train tracks. So you only have like 1 set of perspective lines looking down in your image. So you can use just 1 point if you need. 1 vanishing point and horizon. I don't have the horizon. I don't see it. So we're just going to stick with 2 vanishing points. So you can see that we have axis 1, line A, and axis 1, line B. Now these 2 are a pair, so you're going to pick your axis. As far as I can tell, these act as like, I don't know which is which, I guess we're going to find out, but this axis 1 might be your X lines, and axis 2 might be your Z lines. I'm not super positive, but we're gonna find out now. I realized earlier I was trying to do some Y lines and my scene came out sideways, so I had to redo the lines and, you know, in the other orientation, and then my scene was flat. So, let's go ahead and lay down some of this on the windows. Let's put one right here. Whoop. Another right there. The music's kind of loud, isn't it? I realize I barely turned it down. Okay, so I don't know if this is X or Z, but one of them is set. Now, let's take this. Let's use this building down here. Actually, let's use some of this building up top because it's surprisingly long. I'm going to call it X-axis. Oh, they also mentioned that this is very buggy. So, there's a chance this might not solve. They recommend, if it doesn't work out for you, then to just go and use F-Spy. And depending on what you have, Synthesize also has a very good lines tool. Okay, so that's about it. We're not going to add any more because you can't. And you can see a vanishing point down there. Looks pretty reasonable. And I think that's about it. So now that I've lined up my two main axis pairs of axis lines, I am able to come up to tools. So tools is where I have a couple options here. This is where I created the setup. So I can update it and my camera should snap and like do its thing. Subdivide line is pretty cool and we'll talk about that in a moment. So I'm gonna go update. Yes, it worked. Okay, so the camera's aligned. And what is it doing? Oh, is it upside down? Yeah, it's upside down. That's fine. Well, it's not fine. Can I group this? And like take the whole thing and just... I'm gonna do this for now. I don't know which line was which. And I don't know what direction they're supposed to face. I don't see their... I didn't see that there was any indicator of which way that they should be and what they even are in the manual. So I'm not all certain about this, and if I missed it, I'm sorry. There's actually not a lot to read in the manual. The manual is pretty good, though. It covers enough at the moment. There's still stuff that's being written, apparently. So I'm going to go create cube, and let's take a look at things. The clipping plane's really close to the camera, isn't it? Where's that clipping plane? Or why isn't this geo showing? Oh, did the viewport glitch? Oh, it glitched. Hold on. Okay. So that box is really far away now. Whatever. Okay, so if I move it over here, my first instinct is to go and make a use background shader, but these image planes are not running on Maya's like image plane, so they disappear. So instead, we're going to use 4 for wireframe, and if you don't like seeing the back faces, you can shift right click, polygon display, backface calling. Let's give it some divisions. And yeah, we'll just drag this around our scene, take a look at what we did. So the, like, what I'm going to call the X, well, in this case, Z. The Z lines look pretty awesome going up and down the scene. And the perspective lines over here, the the x-axis, I guess, looks pretty awesome. And I assume that it'll look awesome over here too. I didn't really give it any data because I only have 2 lines. I should have put one of these lines over here. And this probably would have been fine. But yeah, I should have put one of the lines over there. So this is cool and all. But let's take a look at the y-axis specifically, because that shouldn't have any data. So you can see that that's off. If you want to calculate a proper focal length so that all 3 of your axes are correct, you need to have a 3rd line, which they don't have yet. So from all the tests that I've done, and I kind of expected it, Synthesize does this too, if you use 2 lines. Your 3rd axis that's unattended to is going to be off. So this is expected, and this wall is just me realizing I should have spread out the lines. You want to spread out your perspective lines. I should have had this one on the window, and the short one should have been way over here on the longest line available. Also, if you needed a y-axis line, you can totally take one of these lines and put it on the y-axis, and your scene's going to come out sideways. I didn't see an option to tell these lines which axis they are, so you're probably going to have to rotate and whatever for your scene. So because of that, because there's an issue of not being able to do a 3rd perspective line, third set of axis lines, I don't want to use this tool. Yeah, any of the geometry that you model is going to be in the incorrect space, and you don't want that. Not that having all 3 axes guarantees you perfect positioning of your geo, because distortion. Yeah, that's about it. So, I'm going to go, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to go new scene, and I'm going to do this manually. And to do this manually, I'm going to create a camera right here. So, oh yeah, I'm going to be probably doing a video on going through this stuff another time. So, yeah, I'm not going to dwell on a whole bunch of this stuff, although I am going to use a fair amount of this stuff, I think. So I'm going to come over here to Display Camera Nodes. Here I can create a camera. So, this camera, let's look through it now. And we need an image plane. So, when you're making this image plane, don't use Maya's image plane. There's a special image plane that you can apply to this. And it's special because it allows for lens distortion. So you're going to come back up to context here, and you're going to go create match. I'm assuming it says match move image plane. Create match move image plane. And I'm going to grab a new image. It's going to be this one. I like this one. Or maybe this one. What image do I want to use? I think I want to do this one. Yeah, I think I want to do this one. This is the only image I haven't tried. I've experimented on all of these other ones, and I don't really feel like doing it again. So I'm going to go with this one. Okay. So I have had mixed results. In the end, I've had all these images working. I solved them, I got it working. But I seem to have had different struggles with each one. So I might run into one of those struggles, and we'll talk about it when it happens. So we have an image plane here, and you can't select it. If I am correct, you can't even select your camera, and you can't even find it up here in what are these nodes? I don't know what this is called. I can't remember. But this stuff up here, you can't find the image plane. Where is it? You come over to the camera, and here you have match move image plane. And now that I have this, if we take a look here, we got some pretty cool stuff. We got exposure, got our gamma, What else do you need? I'm going to reset this. What was that? 1 and 0? What did I hit it? Oh yeah, visible in camera only. I don't want to look at this in the camera. Or sorry. I don't... Oh, I deselected everything. Also, it's a little buggy. It disappears once in a while. And you can click into the viewport. Sometimes it brings it back. Sometimes it doesn't, and I've had to scrub. Thankful... Oh, well. Okay, goodbye again. Image plane's going on a vacation. So, here, I am going to turn visible to camera only. Oops. Oh. I think I can zoom 2D pen zoom. Yeah, that's another one that makes it come back. Okay, weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go and gamma this up a little bit so I can see some of the darker areas. And now I'm gonna make some rough geo, and we're going to do a manual alignment of this. MMsolver, typically no matter what you're doing, you want some kind of initial layout or alignment. Because that's how the solver works. The solver is not like meant to take and create a scene out of nothing. You don't want the camera off in some other galaxy far away from your seed point. I'm going to say seed points for the moment. Because synthesize seed points or lock points. You don't want your camera to be like halfway across the cosmos and then try to find its way back when you hit solve. MMsolver will not like that. So you want some initial alignments, and it's going to iterate all the attributes that you put into its solver and give you a nice happy result. Also, if I use some incorrect terms, sorry. I skimmed the manual today. Okay. Why did I make a new camera? Go away. So this, oh yeah, I was about to make, I was about to make a square. I like my squares to be uniform, so sorry that took a moment. I am also going to take all of these and I'm going to reverse the normal direction and delete some faces. Okay. Oh, one's gone. That's going to bug me for no reason. Fill. Alright, so let's come over here, and we're going to hit 4 on our keyboard, and we have to use wireframe. Again, no use background. If we use background, well, you're going to have a bad time. So you can't see your image plane. So we're going to 4. 4 for wireframe. Okay, so our camera here, we're going to start, let's put it over in the corner. Something like this. There's a little bit of roll. I'll select the camera and I'll come over to this and kind of control middle mouse the roll. Actually, it doesn't matter too much because the focal length is so different. So I can come over and I can enter in my film back dimensions here, and I can give it a focal length. My camera, this was like, what was it? 18 millimeters, I think? Or was it 16? I don't remember. I think it's 16. No, it's 18. So, I'm also going to call this room. So I don't exactly know how I'm going to go about this one exactly, but we're going to find that out. Just kind of picturing where I want to start this off. I'm going to make an imaginary corner. Oh, a bit too much. Nope. I'm going to make an imaginary corner right behind him, and I'm going to make my first point right in that corner. And then I'm going to use a... Then I'm going to have another point locked up here. So, the purpose of what I'm doing here is, let's say you have somebody going and lining this up manually. You're never going to have a perfect alignment because you're never going to guess the distortion by eye. The benefit here is that when I get some points down, I'm going to set up some kind of parallel access points, kind of like how I would do in SynthEyes. It's a lot more manual and tedious here, but it's a workaround because the camera calibration setup can only give you two pairs of axis lines. You need a third so that you can get a good focal length as well. And also, camera calibration setup can give you distortion, but this way is also gonna, using some parallel points that have to be forced to a straight line, it's gonna help us undistort this image as well. Okay, so let's get started. So, first things first is I want to make a tracker. So you could see I've made, well, a marker. You don't track in MMsolver. So you can see we have a marker right here. And what it did was it made a marker group under the camera. So this, all of our markers are gonna be spawned underneath this camera. And if you have multiple camera setup, I'm not gonna describe that. I was about to get into multi-camera solving and markers shared between cameras. I'm not gonna bother talk about that yet. So you could see that marker 1 was created, but it also has a bundle. So if I look over here, we have a little green point at the center of our world. Now this is the coordinate. So wherever this bundle is, that's what this tracker is going to align to. So I'm going to put the tracker. Oh, come on. I'm going to put the tracker right in that corner. And I got that corner by just, intersecting the bookshelf and the wall. I might actually have to put it a little bit slightly to the right because I kind of slipped off a little bit there. And the bundle, I'm going to put the bundle perfectly on the corner of the geo. And hopefully this bundle is going to eventually snap over to the marker, which will bring our geo, a little bit closer and fit this a little better. So now, I need a point that's going to determine the height of this room. And I'm going to make another point, another tracker. And we're going to bring it right up to this corner, and I'm going to assume that this wood plank up here is, flush with this plank at the bottom. And that bundle, I'm going to take, so the bundle, let's snap it over here. So I'm going to take this bundle, and I'm not going to snap it by the point. I'm going to snap it up on the roof. Up on the ceiling, I should say. And now, so this could already solve something. Dimitri, Calvin, nice to meet you. It's Dimitri, who recently showed you shots with a ring and shield. Oh yeah, those are cool. I'm very glad that you decided to stream MMsolver. It's very useful. It is so useful. Do you use it frequently? Do you use rigs? Do you like hierarchy stuff? It's awesome. I can't wait to get into more of that. I've been practicing a lot. I've used it time and here and there, but I haven't done a rig yet. But I'll be getting at it pretty soon. I'm pretty confident I can do it. So now this bundle up here. I'm going to open up the solver now. So the solver. There's nothing in here at the moment because we have to load our output attributes. And what is that? Oh, I hit my wrist. I just jabbed my watch into my wrist. Ow. So, what do we want to animate right now? I would like to animate the camera... Oh, I keep hitting everything. I would like to animate the camera, you know, looking around for those points and also zooming. This shot really shouldn't zoom. In fact, I should manually move the camera out a little bit. And I'm going to try and align those bundles as close as I can. So, yeah, there we go. I am going to put them off to the side a bit because I do want to show off. Actually, let's pull it out a little bit too, because I do want to show off what this is about to do. So, I'm going to select our camera because the camera is what we want to solve. And how do you load a camera into here? Well, we are just going to come over to our rotations for now. And we're going to hit this plus button right here in the output attributes. I thought this stuff should have appeared here. So I think I could take these two trackers and I think I can load them. Weird. First, I could have sworn this was automatic process before, so I don't know why I had to do that there. I could be wrong. I've been doing weird stuff all day, so I might just be forgetting the order of operations. Alright, so now the camera, we loaded in the rotations. And now that we've loaded in the rotations, MMsolver needs a curve in your channels. It needs a keyframe here before it can animate because there's nothing to animate. If I open up the graph editor, our camera doesn't have any. It wants an existing curve that it can then manipulate. So I'm just going to key the camera's rotations. And now you can see we have some keyframes, and MMsolver is going to work with this. So now, I really hope this is about to work because I'm kind of concerned that that stuff didn't appear immediately. So we'll see if this actually works when I hit solve. I am going to go to current frame. Usually, work with one frame first in MMsolver. Because you want to get your camera roughed in and then also do some other frames. And you want to... Again, you want to help the overall solve with like initial images first. So now I think I can hit solve and this should rotate, please. Yes. Okay, so you can see it rotated to line up with those points as best as it could. Now it did as best as it could because I didn't free up all the stuff that it needed. So the camera let's get this out of the way. So the camera, I can't see this. So the camera rotated as best as it could to line up these points. So what if I let the camera slide back and forth like this? I believe I can take the... And this is all done in world space, by the way. So if your camera's at like, you know, at an angle, then depending on what axis you're letting it push in and out, it's going to do some angles. You might want to let it go on both axes, but in this case, we're just going to do Z. So I'm going to take Translate Z, add it into the attributes. And you can see it says static. We don't want that right now, we want animated. So I'm going to right-click key. Actually, what happens if I don't? I want to try this real quick. I'm still learning this. Because my hope is that it'll calculate still, but without animation. I would love if this thing can calculate initial positions for bundles and then not animate them beyond that. So let's see if that actually happens here. This is just me seeing if this works. So hopefully this camera's going to pull itself back a little bit and rotate to line up these points. Okay, so I guess I do have to give it a key. So now it's set to animated, so let's hit solve. There, well, it worked. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a bummer to me. So I gotta figure out if there's any use to static. Or maybe it's just like a warning message. So we lined up these 2 points. And I do want to say, out of the time that I've been doing these tests of a manual calibration, I've tried doing points as they go and it works. I've also tried setting up all my points in parallel stuff and seeing if it'll calc, and it really didn't like that. But sometimes it did work. And other times it didn't. I don't understand completely. And there's some other stuff later, which I don't fully understand. So we'll see. As far as I can tell, the closest that you can get things, keep stitching your shot as you go, basically. And it should work. Don't try to do too much too fast, because the solver will panic. Okay, so now let's try get some Z lines over here. So I'm gonna take that corner point and I'm gonna try get a bundle somewhere over here. So we're gonna make another tracker. And we're just gonna put it somewhere here, anywhere, it's fine. And I'm gonna take the new bundle that was created. By the way, if you get confused on what bundle matches which, you can swap the bundles over here and it'll, you know, toggle your selection. There's also hotkeys for the stuff, but I don't know any of them at the moment. You can also select them both. So these two buttons, very handy. They're going to be your best friends. So this bundle, I am going to snap it onto the curve. So this point, I snapped it onto this edge because it is the line that's already on axis with the origin over here. Origin, my first point. So now, what I'm going to need is this bundle is going to have to slide along this line to find itself a comfortable position. So I'm going to open up that solver, and here's what we're going to do. We can load in bundles. We can animate these bundles. You can do crazy, crazy shit with these bundles. One of the coolest things that I can't wait to get into is like, wait, is it even here? Attach bundle to curve. This stuff is so cool. Also, screen space manipulator stuff. Like there's so much cool stuff in here. I love MMsolver. So this point, we wanted to animate on Z. So I'm going to take Translate Z, add it in, and you can see we have bundle and Translate Z. We're also going to give it a keyframe, and I believe we should be locking these other channels, but I don't think these do anything. Even if they're unlocked, because they're not in the solver. In fact, let's try it out now. I'm going to leave that unlocked because I might have been wasting a whole lot of time locking a lot of channels. Yeah. So the camera is not going to be able to line this up. This is probably going to look pretty ugly. So if I hit solve right now, so you could see it averaged amongst the 3 points. But the average is kind of nasty. So why is that? Because the camera, like, it only can push in and out right now, and it can only rotate. The camera also needs to move side to side. Sorry about the truck outside. So what we're gonna do is we're going to introduce another, plane of movement. We're gonna bring in X. Y, we might need Y, we'll see. So I'm going to go plus it in. And there you can see camera has X right here. It's static. We have to give it a keyframe. Now it's animated. Let's see what it does right now. Okay, so you can see that looks pretty cool. Looks pretty awesome, actually. So it found, it was able to snap this surface. It doesn't mean that all the other surfaces in the shot are... Oh, well, yeah, that's wrong. So if I move this up a little bit so we can see the line, the edge here. You could see it's too high over here and it's wrong over there. So here's where we're going to do some nifty cool shit. This is going to get confusing, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, you're not going to like this. This is me manually doing a thing in Synthesize. Synthesize has parallel linking. We're going to set up a parallel link. I want two bundles that represent the Z line of this shelf. And I want these bundles to slide up and down, but they need to stay parallel and they can spread apart. So we're going to set up a kind of a little rig. It's not hard, but it's going to be very annoying. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make new trackers, because we need, you know, you need the trackers for... Oh, I deleted it. Why'd I do that? Because, you know, you need trackers. The bundles need to align to something. And you got to tell those bundles where to go. So I'm going to make that point. And if I don't want to... And if I'm zoomed in and I don't want to keep creating a tracker which snaps itself to the center of the world, I could just select the tracker, come to Tools, and Duplicate Marker. And then drag this up over here. Oh, there we go. Let's put it right up here. Okay. So now, these 2 points, as every marker does in Blender, or as every marker will do in MMsolver, we have a couple new bundles at the origin of the world, just waiting to be placed. So I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna toggle between its bundle, so it's selected now. And I'm gonna snap it somewhere close. Cool. So I just kind of picked a place. I just kind of picked a place close to the marker, because again, you want to try start with this stuff as close as you can. And now we're going to take the other marker, toggle over to its respective bundle, and here's the weird thing. I'm going to snap it onto that bundle, and the reason I did that is because now it's at the exact same height, and I'll slide it over roughly to that marker. So yeah, these two bundles need to be at the same height because they're going to be parallel. And now we're going to select both of them, and we're going to Control-G, group them. Okay, and for that group, I'm going to hit D and hold V so I can snap its pivot somewhere in between them. So now we have this. We have these two bundles, and you can see they're parallel. And we're going to want these points to be able to spread apart from one another. So I want this group to animate on Y. So this group, also I'm going to name this, let's call it Z axis 1. It's nice to keep these organized here. This is going to get messy. So I want it to animate on Y so that the markers can move up and down. And I'm going to take translate Y, key it, and I'm going to plus it into our attribute stuff. Man, I wish that image sequence didn't disappear. And now these two bundles, I'm going to select both of them. And I want them to animate along the Z axis, because that's what they're going to be parallel animating on. So I'm going to right-click and key selected Z, and I'm going to plus both of them, and you'll see that both of them will add, because I have them both selected, and the channels are just nice like that. And turns out we don't have to lock this stuff, I don't think, so I'm not going to lock that anymore, because I don't remember if it was... There's a tool... There's a tool that's like this on steroids over at Industrial Light and Magic. Works very similarly, but there's some differences, and I keep getting those in my mind. So those 2 points animated, and they're imported in. So we have the Z animating on Y, and we have these two bundles animating on Z. So what's going to happen? First off, I can't see shit. There we go. Okay. So now we have two Z lines. This... Oh, I might have to move this one too, because that... Let's take this marker, we're going to move this marker over a little bit. A few pixels. So now the bottom of the room should slide over to fit that. Might also move it up slightly, we'll see. I don't know what the X lines are doing over here. So, let's see what happens. Just for reference, remember that that Z line on that shelf is crooked. You could see it goes crazy at the end. Open up the solver. Okay. So this is where I'm always like concerned something bad's gonna happen. Well, let's see what happens. Solve. Please. Did it work? Please tell me it worked. That already looks like it didn't work. The more stuff that you start to add, the more that we're going to have to put other more data in. Also, there might be lens distortion, and it's picking up on that, so that is wrong. Okay, so here's the part of the stream where I'm going to struggle. I said at the start of the stream that I've been practicing this all day, but I've had some unpredictable stuff. I'm still learning this, and I thought I would just see how it goes if I record it for whoever wants to see. So I did figure this out like 3-4 times today. I did make everything work for every image I've done this on. So hopefully I figure it out now. Also, I want some tea. Okay. So, now let's see what we can do about figuring this out. I think that this axis, it's probably because we might be in the territory where we're going to need it to also be able to move up and down. Because I think we're getting enough points where it's kind of running out of options, so it needs this, I think. I'm a little bit worried that I don't have enough for like all 6 channels. Because once you have all 6 channels, you're doing a full-on camera match move. And that takes a lot of data. And I don't know if I have enough, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to key this and add it in. Okay, please work. Whoa. Oh my god, I think it worked. Thank whoever, I guess. Anybody. Whoever's willing to take a thank you. Oh yeah, that looks good. Up top, looks pretty good right here. Shelf down here, it's all looking awesome. This one looks like it might be a little off. Looks like there might be something off. I don't know if it's like these aged bookshelves, and like you could see the shelves here are a little bit crooked. They're kind of wavy. I don't know if this is you know, just the bookshelf or if it's me. So I guess we'll find out in the end, because we are going to do distortion on this. Oh, that might be distortion. Okay. Distortion might fix that. So for now, let's go ahead and start adding some X lines here. Or Y lines. Let's go with Y, because, you know, we can see that very clear, obvious lines on the shelf here. Let's keep going on the shelf. So, we're going to do some more crazy, some more irritating stuff that's going to scare people. So I'm going to go create tracker. And let's go close to the camera. Alright, and the bundle, I'm going to toggle over to it, and I'm going to snap it to the wall here. And let's bring it closer. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. And now we're going to create another tracker. Again, if you want, you could just select the existing one, bundle tools, duplicate. The nice thing about having a line this massive on screen too means that we're going to be able to... Whoop, did I move something? Yes, I did. Okay, well I moved it slightly, but the solve will fix that later. So again, the benefit of having a massive line running right down the middle or kind of close to the edge of your screen is that's going to help you a lot for distortion later, because we're going to be able to put another parallel point in the middle, and it's going to force the solver to say, hey, this shelf, straighten it out. So, I'm going to toggle to the bundle. And we're going to snap it to that point just below it, because I want these points to be perfectly together on the Y. Yeah, you can see how off, like this should be over here, right? So these two, we're going to group them, and I'm going to, and we don't need to snap the pivot, I'm just doing this because I want to. I'm going to snap the pivot over there, and I'm going to move the pivot up to the center of them. Again, you don't have to move that pivot. It works fine if you don't. So, I want these points to not pass through the wall. I want them to be able to freely slide across the wall if they need. So we're going to take translate X, key it, add it in, and it's somewhere down here. There we go. Yeah, group 1, translate Z. And we're going to name that group 1 to Z axis 2. And now we're going to take these 2 points, which are, wait, this is, sorry, this is Y. Y-axis 1. It's technically 2 because our two starting points are set to be my first Y-axis, but whatever. So these 2 points, we're going to put a key on translate Y, import both of them. They've both jumped in here, yes. And our Y-axis is there. So, let's see what happens if I calc now. Oh. things moved a little bit funny. Did it work? Let's see. It looks a little bit off. So this might be some distortion territory. So before we worry about this, let's go and add an X line for the ceiling. And maybe the floor? Yeah. So, let's go ahead and create a tracker. Where is it? Did I even make a tracker? Oh, sorry. Select a viewport or your camera, I think. Then create tracker. So I don't know if this ceiling is super level. It looks pretty like wonky. So, you know, kind of proceed with caution. And the bundle, let's bring it somewhere close by. These don't need to be perfectly on a surface. There we go, so it's level to the marker. New tracker. Did I put it on a shadow? I put that on a shadow. So let's put this marker down here and also the bundle as well, down on that edge. And we're going to toggle to its bundle. There we go. And, oh, this one, sorry, I have to snap it to this bundle because we need it to be parallel to that one on X. And you can see just how off that it is. So again, we'll group these two, group them, and I'm going to call this X axis 1. So, again, you don't have to move this. I just like when this origin is like between them, so I'm going to snap it somewhere between them. And I want this one to slide across the ceiling if it needs to. Also, it could go up and down, but I don't know. I like to pick the axis of the nearest plane. You can play around with that. Like either of these two would work. We don't want to move X because that's kind of what's going to animate already with the bundles. We just need to give this room to breathe and space. Like up and down or forward and back, because we need to allow these points to adjust the height. Now, so this is, we're going to put Translate Z, we're going to open up the solver. So we're going to take Translate Z, key it, and add it. There we go. And these 2 points, we're going to take Translate X, key it, and add them both. There we are. And now we are going to pray as hard as we can and hope that this doesn't break the solve, because I'm kind of scared that this that this is going to break here. I'm not the best at this yet, so solve, please work. Whoa, that looks not too bad. How does everything else look though? It's looking pretty good. Was my room always short? Or did I move this geo before? Oh, look at that. Why? 0? Wait. So my floor is not... I could have sworn I had this bundle on the ground. Oh, it's far back. Why is that? Oh, did I move this? Oh, okay. I don't remember if I moved this or if I just never had it snapped over there in the first place. Why isn't that snapping to the bundle? Oh, weird. There it is. Okay. Also, you can see that there's a little error. The points aren't perfectly matched. And that's fine, that's your solve error. And that's likely to do with the distortion, which we'll be solving in a moment, but also, this is an old, weird place. Things are warped, it's very artsy. Okay. So, let's do some distortion now. Also, this is kind of off, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of off there. Yeah, let's see if distortion helps us out. So I could solve with distortion now, but I want to give it a little extra help with this wood beam. So I'm going to put a tracker in between, and I'm going to take these 2 points, and I'm just going to go tools and average markers. So I made a marker in between, and you could see the bend here, right? So this is the distortion. So I'm going to move this over, line it up to the edge, and I'm going to toggle the bundle. And I'm going to snap the bundle to one of these 2 bundles, move it up. So that is the difference. So we're hoping that this bundle is going to snap over to this tracker and it's going to give us our distortion. So I also have to put this into that into the same group that these are. I wanted to keep parallel with these. So what is that? Y-axis? Yeah, Y-axis 1. So I'm going to bring it up in here. There we go. Now, so now let's see if it solves right now real quick. It's not going to make anything better. I just want to see if it solves because I'm always concerned about it breaking. So, solve. Nice. It might have even averaged and made it slightly better. It probably not. Yeah. There's too many other points, too much influence. Like that wouldn't get better. So how do we do distortion? Something we also need to do that I forgot about completely is our focal length. So yeah, I completely forgot about that. We might not even need it because this shot looks down an axis. So there might not even be the data to calculate a focal length. So where is it? Oh, right here. We're going to grab this and let's take the focal length 35. That's just the default. And again, we're looking down an axis. Most focal, if you're ever looking clean down an axis, then you don't have to worry about one of the 3 axes because you're looking at a plane and then one axis is going to look like straight lines, you know, because you're looking down it. So this might not calculate anything worthwhile, but if you wanted to calculate your focal length, add it into the solver and right click, key selected. And we can hit solve and 35 should change. It might be drastic. It might be something bad. We'll see. It didn't even calculate. Let's see. Solver inputs are not compatible with scene graph. I'll be honest. I don't really know what this means. To me, I should have at least one more. I've gotten focal length to work by adding more perspective lines. Right now, I have 2 Y lines, and I have wait. Do I only have 1 X line? Oh yeah, and I have 2 Y lines. This one and the 2 starting points, and I have 1 Z. I have 2 Z lines. One is the parallel one that I made, and then the other is just a point that I just, you know, the marker is like just out in the open world space and it animates on the Z. So I have 2 Zs, 2 Ys, but 1 X. And for focal, you need all 3. So I kind of hope if I, the more that when I've added like all 3 and had like 2 parallels per, it's actually made it solve. I don't know if it's why it solved. I don't know why anything happens, but you know, we're going to do that. So we're going to set up another axis and I'm going to do this one fast. Well, as fast as I can. This is kind of, you know, not super fast. So I'm going to take this. Also, something I should have been doing, I don't know why I haven't been doing this, but we're going to come over to bundle tools and I'm going to project marker on mesh. There, so that bundle that I've been moving manually is already there now. I don't know why I haven't been doing that. And this tracker, put it way over at the end. I can't zoom. Okay, weird. Now I can. And like I can't project that bundle because the point is that it needs to be parallel with this one. So there we go, and move it over on the X. And how different is that? Yeah, you can see. Oh, don't move it down. That's right. Sorry, only on X. Take those two, group them. X axis 2. And let's see, so this one, I'm gonna snap the pivot somewhere over there, and it's gonna move up and down if it needs. Translate Y. Add, also key it. Is it there? Yes, it is. And now we're gonna take these 2 points over here, and we're going to take key X and add both the X in here. There we are. Okay, now let's see if that lets the focal length solve. I kind of doubt it. I'm just not good at this. I don't know how to predict this yet. So it's at 35. And what's it going to do? Oh, look. It changed slightly. Okay, so it worked. Okay, so it changed slightly. Great. Now... Oh, no. I hit delete. Okay, we're back. No! Oh my god, I hit delete again. The pipe key, the slash button right under backspace, is your pan 2D zoom. And I, for some reason, keep hitting the delete key right beside it. Oh my god, my heart can't take it. Now. Oh, first frame. Okay, so distortion. Let's see if this works. So here's how we're gonna do distortion. You can see the offset here in the beam, and all the points are gonna contribute to distortion, not just that one, but you know that one's gonna be a pretty big deal for this. And it would be nice if I had this beam. So I don't know. I might set that up later. We'll see. Now distortion. If I in my camera thing here. I can come up to, not context here, like it's not here, but come over to camera tools. Camera tools right here. And you can see that we can create lens. Oh look, create image plane and camera is here. So what's this? Image plane, this is like, this like lets you toggle between stuff, and it just happens to have create and this. Okay, that makes sense. So camera tools. And I'm going to go create lens. Now that I've created a lens, this image plane can do some funky stuff. So now with the camera selected, you see over here in inputs we have lens 1. So if I click that, you could see we have a whole bunch of distortion parameters. Now this is like 3D equalizer. And in fact, it even says 3DE classic lens distort model. So if I come over and click distortion, and I can control middle mouse drag in my viewport. Oh no. Wait, 3D radial. Let's go with this. Okay, yeah, that worked. So now you can see our distortions going wild. And we want this parameter right here to go into our solver. So, as with everything that you want to calculate, by the way, any parameter, you can put ridiculous attribute like parameters into this attribute window, like ridiculous stuff. Anything that's able to move a bundle, like you can put it in here. You can put bend deformers. I'm pretty sure you can. There's crazy shit. This thing's wild. So this here, I'm gonna key it and I'm gonna import it in here. So note that it's 0. Let's see that it happens. I've had times where I've had to get rid of the focal length and then calc distortion, and then I've like took out distortion, put focal length back in, and then kept iterating it. But then there was a point where I put them both back in and then it calculated for some reason. So let's see if it calculates now. Okay, scary. Please. Oh my god, it did it. Okay, so you can see it worked. That's awesome. It worked. I can't believe it worked. So, also, if you're looking at it, don't mind the carpet. We moved the carpet when we were here. The carpet's crooked. We don't know how to line up a carpet. Also, the shelf over here, that's not doing very well. So, again, I don't know what I'm going to just say, hey, the things are crooked and the wood's warped. I don't know how much I'm going to, you know, say and blame on all of that. Also, the focal length changed. No, it didn't. Just the room is kind of tiny now. The room is pretty long. Oh, that bugs me. Look at that. That bugs me right there. Actually, this is crooked. This is off. And I don't know if it's because this ceiling's sunken in and I did this. Because this x-axis will have been what rotated the scene. I might have just chose a poor image. This is like the only shot that I haven't done this with. And I chose to choose wacky funhouse with warped shelves. Man, if it weren't for this line down here, I was about to say the shelves are consistently lowered though. So it's hard for me to say if it's me or the shelves. Let's move this up. But that one's spread out that way. So I don't know. But that's pretty extreme. So as one more thing, I'm going to add one more point and then I'm probably going to call this stream done. Yeah, let's do one more axis line and then I'm going to leave. What time is it? 9. I got to go to the store. Oh, so we're going to create a tracker. Put it way over here. Let's put it up top. And also if I make this a little bigger, then I can take this bundle and I can project. Bundle tools, project raycast. Wait. Why is that off? So, oh, okay. I think I know why this is off. If you come up to tools, you can toggle this lens stuff off. And I'm curious, can I project this now? What's it gonna do? Huh. That's like distortion. Is it taking into account that distortion with the projection? So, I don't know if this is like a feature or a bug. Wait. Did that just line up? So when I project... Huh. Is that good or bad? I'm a little sus. So I am going to put this line here, but for now I am going to zero out the distortion while I do this. And it could just recalculate in a moment. So this is going to project now. What? Does this have to do with polygons? Huh. What if I toggle this now? Is that gonna do anything? Okay, so that's new. I don't know what's causing that. No idea at all. Maybe there's something about points that are too close to camera. I don't know. Just as a quick test, I'm gonna make a sphere. Somewhere further away. We're gonna hide this. And now let's project. Okay, so I'm a little bit weirded out by this. So it's not the geo. And because of that, I'm going to grab both the bundle and the tracker, delete it, and with the distortion all off, I'm going to make a new tracker, and let's see what happens now. It works. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's a bug. Maybe. So, now, let's make another tracker. Put it down low. And its bundle, we're gonna snap it up here, bring it down. We're gonna group these two. We're gonna snap the pivot somewhere close by, and I want this to move on Z. So, group, translate Z, add it in. And we're gonna go, these are gonna animate on Y. Yes. Now. Scary times. And let's bring that distortion back. So we're gonna go back to lens. Distortion, toss it in here. And solve. It already looks like it didn't work. One second, I want to take a sip. I really hope this bookshelf doesn't just have like a fancy tilt. I doubt it does. Yeah, so I don't know if there is anything that I'm gonna do to improve this. So this might be it for this stream. I might have just chosen a wacky room. Also, what is this doing? That didn't solve. So something actually didn't work here. So first, let's remove the distortion. And then, or sorry, the focal length. Then add the distortion. Solve. Solver inputs are not compatible. Not compatible, huh? So I've had this where it just worked after I've re-added the stuff back in. So let's give that a try, and if it doesn't work, I don't know. And let's give the distortion, because maybe, ooh, that selected a lot, didn't it? Maybe distortion is the same where it's oh, interesting. Oh, toggle? Oh my god. Wow. So that's a thing that's might have been affecting me. I don't know if that's gonna help, but let's find out. Oh shit. um it's wrong. um but let's do one more crazy thing. This and this. Average. And bundle. Take it, snap it up. And I think it's this group, right? Yes. This isn't gonna work, but it'll be fun. Oh, well, it did something. Okay, so I've had really, really good results in all the other shots at this stage. So I think I'm just fighting against, like, I don't know what this room's doing. I did guess a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. I think things might be warped, things might be old, things might be stylized. I have no idea. But I don't know. Everything kind of did work. Like all the solving and things moving, it worked. Distortion, focal length worked. So this might just be what I got to do with the shot. Also, come to think of it, no, I was about to say like maybe every certain number of beams close to the walls, like intentionally have like some kind of slant to it, but I don't see that being a thing. Okay, anyway, I don't know. That's all I got. I'm gonna stop now. I gotta go eat. I gotta go shop before the store closes. So yeah. And gonna do more on this solver later on other days. Nice. Just for fun. Where's my other stuff? Hendry? Don't save this. So here's a match move I did. I did that whole weird setup to make this building, do some weird stuff, and I was able to get a match move out of it. Come on, is it gonna frame? Oh, you gotta frame every second. Play every frame. Max real time. So this is an actual solve that I did. I figured I'd show this before I go. But I messed up distortion on this one. And I didn't put as much access stuff as I could have. So I didn't get the best undistort. I don't think this has any distortion, come to think of it, at all. And there's some access lines that are pretty bad at the bottom. This is one of my earlier attempts, but hey, I got something, built some geo out of it, and got a solve. I took my trackers out of SynthEyes. I had to take my trackers and convert them to 3D on Traxpronto, and then import that into MMsolver. And hey, got a match move. Alright, cool. Well, I'm gonna go. I don't know if anybody watched this. If you're still here, Dimitri, enjoy your morning or night, wherever you are. So, yeah, I'm gonna stop now.